two here. Do you think, does he want to move together? Okay, let's do that. Well, they can, although they may have to be clued in for that. Let's put two on the end and one here. That way we'll. There's 5 altogether. So we'll just do 2. We'll just do 2, 1, and 2. Yeah, good. Because that could be general.
All right, test 1, 2, test check, mic check, test 1, 2, test 1, 2, testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, test from the podium, test 1, 2, test 1, 2, 3, testing. We'll go test 1, 2, test on the first table mic. Test 1, 2, test the first table, 1 of 3, test 1, 2, good. Then test 2, and then 3. All right, we're back to the podium. It's a handheld.
like, I recognize this guy up here. Yeah. So I was like, I don't recognize you two. So it's quite a drive. Yes, you did. Well, I'm assuming this is probably your oldest story of the day. But this, of course, is your oldest story.
sure. Yeah,
Ask
'cause
me if
this
he had a
is
preference.
you opened it for
Which is
me.
which? Is he speaking
Whatever you
first?
think. Well, you're on the mic, so it's.
Okay.
Joe's been sitting in the middle.
Yeah, thank you. And this was set here. Me and you.
Yes. I was asking her if it mattered, and she said, nope, there's a mic in the middle.
Good, good. Good.
I don't trust my memory for the name of this House bill.
Lakin's Law.
Yes.
Lakin's. Lance reminds me all the time. Okay, Joe, we're not sitting here for
You were not sitting here
just
just
to smile pretty.
Right.
Michelle. I did. But do me a favor. Go back and tell Jeff that we're here. I says, come here.
Tell him they told us to sit here, so we're sitting.
Buddy, are you joining us? Or come on. You mean shooting it now? Since we don't have it. Yeah, sure. What? Yes, almost up. But can we go ahead and get people settled down? Because me and Michelle,
Yeah,
we
here
just
we-
feel like we're on display. Right, Michelle? Mm-hmm. You feel like I'm on display?
Yeah.
And really, my age and as ugly as I've gotten,
Well, yeah.
I really don't. You belong there.
Well, no, I was
Neither.
telling Debbie, I said, I'm going to, like, put you in front of 500 people, and I'm fine. Put me in front of the camera, and I'm just like,
That's something. That would be nice.
I heard someone say something.
Has anybody
just
seen
enough.
our United States Senator? We've lost him. We have lost the senator.
Not that big of a building, we should be able to find them.
Right, yeah. There's not multiple ways around, right?
It's not like this place has multiple floors.
How are you?
They had these chairs at the, when they did that Hallmark movie here.
Yeah.
They are the itchiest chairs.
Really?
Don't have pants
Well, yeah,
on.
because we got pants,
They're
we
like-
can't tell.
I don't know if it's like a wool or
rug.
something with the velvet.
Is that right? I may have told you, yeah, the day before yesterday, I was out in the pool house, by the pool at my house, and it must have been a spider. It got me all over the ankle.
Oh,
My ankle was like that big and so sore and itch. I
Oof.
wanted to dig through, but when you touched it, the pain was so bad. I said, oh, what the heck? Are you kidding? But
there's our senator.
You're right there, and Jen will be next to you when she comes.
Put her there?
Yeah, or no, maybe on the end.
Okay, everybody, thanks so much for your patience, and we'll get started here. I'm Shelley Poe, and welcome to the Game Changer, one of our biggest events of the year. I want to start off by welcoming our Executive Director and Founder, Joe Bozick, to make a few remarks.
Again, thank you very much, and echoing Shelley, apologize for the slight delay, but, you know, as is with schedules of so many people, starting on time anymore is getting to be a little bit difficult, but do apologize, but do thank you for coming. I just want to echo the pride that I have sitting here today after 4 years. This is our fourth one. It's hard to believe. And the amount of support that we've gotten from Senator Manchin and Gale and Governor Justice and the business world and certainly the education world that has helped tremendously actually have GameChanger as becoming the preeminent prevention education program in the entire nation. We're getting calls from states with asking for interest, telling us about their interest, wanting to know more about it. Kentucky and Tennessee, we've had extensive talks with, and we are very close to starting pilot schools in both Kentucky and Tennessee. And overall, the GameChanger program is catching fire in communities, and community support is as high as it's ever been. And it's really a tribute to the people that are going to be here tonight, and to the politicians, and to the educators, and to the business world. Everyone realizes the problem that we're facing. And 4 years ago, I made a charge that I wanted West Virginia to take the lead in this fight. And we have taken the lead. And that gives me a great amount of pride, the fact that West Virginia has taken the lead in prevention education. Our contract and partnership with the Hazelton Betty Ford Foundation adds immense credibility to our programming. And again, I just want to echo the pride that I have being able to sit here in year 4 and seeing how much this program's exploded and the interest that it's generating in schools and communities across West Virginia. You know, we're dealing with cofentanyl now. It's an elephant tranquilizer. It's killing kids in 4 seconds if they take a pill that's got cofentanyl in it. It literally paralyzes their lungs immediately, and they suffocate in 4 to 6 seconds. That's some of the things that we have to educate our kids through this program, and we're doing it. Kids are making the right healthy choices, and they're starting to realize. It's ironic that while Mexico has a drug trafficking problem, Mexico doesn't have a drug problem per se in the way of fentanyl deaths. They had 378 deaths of fentanyl. We had 439,000 or 436,000 since 2016 or whatever. It's because they've seen the destruction that drug use does, and they've learned from it, like we need to teach our kids. So we're hopeful that through our prevention education program that our kids and adults alike will realize that they cannot embark on going on the internet to buy counterfeit pills, and because it's playing Russian roulette. And now with cofentanyl, it's death in a matter of seconds. So I thank you all again for coming. I think you're going to see a program tonight that really will reflect the progress that GameChanger has made. And again, I'm just happy to be a part of something that I think is very, very special for the kids in our state.
Thank you, Joe. Next, we'll have a few remarks from our chairman of the board of GameChanger, Mr. Larry Puccio.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If I
if he's
quit
got a little
coughing.
frog in his throat there.
Anyway, you know, we have always a lot of folks to thank for how well this program has gone, and we always look to our Senator Joe Manchin, Senator Shelley Marcapito, our Governor Jim Justice. They've all joined in and been so supportive. Today, I want to thank our Superintendent of Schools, Michelle Blatt. You see, without being able to get into schools and touch the kids, this won't work. And so, in collaboration with the state school board and the way they've worked with us, it's been unbelievable, and it's been wonderful. I always like to thank our coaches that are in the schools that participate, our superintendents and our principals. But today I want to mention to you who I'm really so impressed with all of this program, and it's our students. These students are brilliant. These leaders have stepped up, and they've become game changers. And you know, I go to ball games and I see them in a T-shirt that says I'm a game changer. And I'm so impressed that a 15 and a 16-year-old understand and gets it, how dangerous and how much of a problem this crisis is. They speak to members of their school. They go to students at younger grades, and they speak to them, and they do a fabulous job. You see, those students don't want to hear from an old guy like me. They truly want to hear from another student that they trust and believe in. So I'm so proud that our students have done a fabulous job. They've bought in. Doesn't matter if they're an athlete, if they're in the band, if they're in the chess club. They're all coming together, and they're running with this program, and they're making a difference. So today, I salute the students in West Virginia. I don't think we realize what leaders we have coming up and how good they really are. So I've been so pleased, Madam Superintendent, with our students. We have great students, and they take great pride And I think even this evening, you'll see some of them on video, and the things that they're taking and doing on their own will impress you also. So my hat's off to the students. They've done a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. We're very delighted to have our superintendent of schools from West Virginia joining us this weekend, or this event, Ms. Michelle Blatt.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, and I'd like to echo what Larry said about how amazing our students are. If we give our students in West Virginia a chance, they will impress you every time. All you have to do is go into a school and look around, and the things that they're accomplishing throughout their coursework in our CTE programs is amazing. Our collaboration, though, with GameChanger's has been ongoing for 4 years. I figure everyone is familiar with our One Pill Can Kill video that was produced by GameChanger's, and we collaborated very closely with the team to put together resources for our teachers, students, and parents. And so this past legislative session, there was a bill introduced, House Bill 5540, called Lakin's Law, and it was to remember a young adult in Raleigh County who had lost her life to fentanyl. And the legislation felt that there needed to be a more emphasis on fentanyl as part of the drug prevention programs that we do have in our schools. And so it requires oversight of fentanyl abuse, training around what that looks like, the dangers of fentanyl, how to use things to recover if you run into your parents or students that have been exposed to fentanyl. And this is a program that's going to be required annually through state code for our students in grades 6 through 12. And so we're excited today to announce that the One Pill That Can Kill video, along with the resources that have been created, for, again, like I said, for our teachers, parents, and students, fully meets the intent of Lakin's Law and will be the resource that our schools can use to implement this brand new piece of legislation starting this fall.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's a pleasure to introduce our Senator, Joe Manchin, who's been a great friend to Game Changer since the beginning. Senator.
Thank you, Shelley. And to everyone who's been involved from the beginning. Joe and I spoke, it had to be what, 6 years. And Joe had he had an idea, and he started telling me about it. And I said, Joe, it sounds wonderful. I said, I know how much money that we're investing in trying to cure people. We're trying to get treatment centers, but the best treatment center is prevention. If you can prevent it, and that takes education. And we haven't been doing much as far as in the schools whatsoever, but Joe's idea, and he said, I got an idea, and I said, I want to call it a game change, because I really think it is a game change if we can teach a student. And basically, the best mentor for a student is another student. You can think it might be you, it might be a teacher, it's another student. And somebody who's seen it in their family or basically understands the effect of this. We've lost 107,000 Americans since 1999. That's more deaths in America than all the wars since the Civil War that we've ever fought in. We've lost more Americans to this than we have in all the wars since the Civil War. It's unbelievable. We know about, we're doing everything we can to stop the precursors coming from, the fentanyl coming from China. We're doing everything that we possibly can. And I would do an awful lot more against Mexico. And Mexico's allowing that precursor to go into the country with the cartels, and they're producing a finished product and sending it back to America across the border. We talk about shutting the borders down. The greatest challenge we face as a country today is the porous border that we have. We have people coming that we don't know who they are. We haven't vetted them. We don't know. They've been released. They're supposed to come back for voluntarily to be adjudicated, but hopefully we have legislation. It's a shame. It's really a shame that politics has prevented us. Politics caused the problem, and politics has prevented us from fixing the problem. It's a horrible situation that we're in right now, and the citizens, the innocent citizens, and the children especially, are caught in the middle of this. Jennifer will be coming. I know she's running a few minutes late here because she had challenging as far as traveling, as far as getting her in from California, but the thing about Jennifer, and I want to say this, and you'll hear her speak tonight. Her and I, when I was governor, she got, and I knew about Jennifer, I just didn't know her that well. Her father, soul rest in peace, passed away. And she came in and stayed with him and was with him right up until the end. Unbelievable. And she's never left her roots. Her roots are right here in Charleston, West Virginia. West Virginia is her home, and she'll tell you that. She got involved with basically Save the Children. And she came to me when I was governor talking about Save the Children. I said, explain it to me, Jennifer. She said, Joe, we're going into areas that we know are poverty-stricken or having a hard time. They're not getting the tutelage or the nutrition they need. They're not getting basically the family. So they engulf the whole process. And that's why when we told her about GameChanger, it was a no-brainer for her. She says, oh my God, it's exactly everything that we're doing. Because we're into the homes that we know a child can go off the scales, off the rails, if you will. Anyway, her being able to bring the face that she has, notoriety that she has, to what GameChanger's means in West Virginia, boy, can mean across the country. There's not a family that doesn't know someone in the immediate family, extended family, or a close friend that's not been affected. None of us are immune from it. And it's just absolutely horrible. And we have a hard time right now filling a lot of vacancies. We have 8 million jobs we can't fill in America right now. Think about it. You know the biggest problem we have? Can't get through drug tests. A lot of capable people. But when I talk to guys, you mean you got nobody looking for the job? It says, it's not that we have nobody wanting to take a job, it's people that don't qualify for the job. Without saying it, they're telling me exactly what's going on. 8 million jobs. We have 44,000 jobs in West Virginia that are unfulfilled right now and having a difficult times. Look at our military. The only one we have basically is performing up to the quota in the military is the Marines. Every other branch is falling off. National Guards are falling off around the country of recruitment because you have to be clean. You've got to be clean. Look at law enforcement. Everyone. So we've got to turn this around. And if we can't do it in the schools, it's not going to be done. So what GameChanger's brings to the table for all of us in all society. So if you're starting out a family, if you have young children, if you're a little bit older like some of us and you have children and grandchildren, you should be concerned. You should be concerned. This is a war that we haven't fought, and it gets worse every year. So this is the best, I think, the best that we have, best opportunity. And that's why you have so many people participating. I don't think anyone's ever turned us down from asking. We ask anyone to be involved. No one's ever said, I'm sorry, I can't get involved. I don't have enough time. Because they all know how important it is. Everybody stepped to the plate. Everybody. They just don't know what to do. Well, let me tell you. We get in your classroom, Michelle. You get them in the school, and you show a child, and that child becomes, I know, we started a thing when I was Secretary of State called SHARES, Saving History and Reaching Every Student. Kids didn't know they could vote when they were 17 if they turned 18 on the day of the election or before November the 4th. November the 4th or before. They didn't know it. Once we told them, they got so excited and wanted to be involved. No different with this.
Right.
Knowing that one pill can kill. That is the most, if you haven't seen that video, you ought to take time to look at it. It'll shake you. So, Joe, we've all talked for a long time about what could be done. We didn't think it could be done. And I says, well, let me call Larry. I said, I got to get Larry involved. And we got Larry involved, and then getting all of our friends and associates, everybody. There's no one turns us down. And it was unbelievable. So I give Joe a tremendous amount of credit for having the fortitude. Most every one of people that we've talked to has had someone in their family, directly or indirectly affected, and they wanted to be involved, and this is the place to get them involved. So with that, Joe, you've opened up your arms and your hearts for everybody, and we want to make sure that there's more room, and we need more people involved, and we need more schools involved, and we need to take it more states that want to be involved. I got other senators, they said, where are you going? I said, well, I'm going back home because I said we have something that's much more important when I'm going to Washington right now. And that's trying to save children, trying to save the kids. Not one person says, oh, no, you can't leave. I said, well, I'm leaving. I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be right back where I want to be at home. And I wouldn't leave in the middle of the week for anything other than this. So with that, buddy?
Well, you know, Senator Manchin, I think of all the driving force behind it when people sit and hear about it and want to get involved in it. Quite frankly, it goes back to one thing that is really heart-wrenching is it goes back to mothers. There have been so many mothers that have buried their 12 and 14 and 16, 17-year-old children over the fentanyl and the fact that a kid leaves for school and doesn't come home because him and his buddies got on the phone and found a way to get pills over the internet, having no idea that they're laced with fentanyl, and a mother, be it whether at work, gets the call out of nowhere, having no understanding that her son or daughter may have even been going that route. And also the heartbreak part of it is that a lot of times these are first time ever. Kid's 16, his buddy says, hey, I got some stuff coming, and they go out after school and they buy it and off the internet, and it has fentanyl in it, and they're dead within 4 to 5 seconds. And that's among a lot of the reasons and the numerous reasons that it's not fair to that mom and that dad who have spent time raising that child to have a life sniffed out so quickly and so tragically, and a lot of times so surprisingly. Not to mention the ones that are fighting the fact that their kids are fighting addiction and trying to keep them clean and away from it, and one time they take the chance and they get something off the internet, and within 5 to 10 seconds their lives are snuffed out. And I just really know that this program that we have that's in the schools is the foundation for what Game Changer's all about. You know, any great home has a solid foundation, and our prevention education program in the schools, K to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to 12 is the foundation. But the One Pill Can Kill movie, and we're just finishing production with our video firm, a year and a half in the making. Superintendent Blatt was gracious enough to lend us 6 of her staff to serve on a committee January of 23, along with Nickelodeon Kids and PBS Kids, to help us devise an age-appropriate film with cartoons where kids from West Virginia are involved in it and actually turn into cartoons in the learning curve age appropriately. It's called You Have What It Takes, and it'll be released into the schools along with a teacher lesson plan that the Department of Education's staff has worked on for the teachers, and a parent toolkit so the film can also be sent home to parents, and along with the parent toolkit to educate parents. And it's age appropriate. That's so important that we learn from the educators, is that make it age appropriate. One Pill Can Kill's a 6 to 12 grade video. You wouldn't show One Pill Can Kill to a 3rd to 5th grader. And hopefully, if things continue moving in the right direction, we'll start the last segment of the film presentations for K to 2, where it will be age appropriate for that age group, where it'll more basically concentrate on healthy choices and taking care of your bodies at an early age. And it's hoped that the segmentation of the K through 5 and then 6 through 8, 10 and 9 to 12, and that prevention education program will bring those kids and being mentored by the older kids about how cool Game Changer is and how it's cool to be a game changer. We're getting people wanting Game Changer t-shirts now. You know, once we can get a movement like that rolling where this is on somebody's shirt because they want it on their shirt, and kids in school are asking where they can get that, where they can get a black t-shirt with the Game Changer logo on it. We're moving in the right direction because we're creating a demand for something that kids want to be involved in, and they know what it's associated with.
Do we have any questions for any of these folks?
I have a question.
Sure.
And it's for Superintendent Blatt. How many schools right now do this Game Changer enroll their program with?
152.
No,
52. Thanks to Larry.
in 18 counties.
We're in 18 counties right now.
Is there a goal down the road to expand and get to every school in the state of West Virginia?
Yes, and I think this passage of Lakin's Law and the fact that this Game Changers will be a part of the rollout this fall with that, it will touch every school, at least the video part and the resources there will. So.
What else have you heard from educators when they enroll this program and they talk with students? What has been the feedback from their peers?
Well, I think if you, like, looking at the video and other things, and when you see students talking to students, and that resonates with our, with the students when they watch the video. That peer-to-peer model is what makes a difference. They hear a lot of us talk all the time. They hear their parents talk. But when the students are providing them with the information and are sharing stories that they're aware of in their lives, then I think that's what really makes the impact with the classrooms.
Any other questions?
Michelle, can
Yep,
I ask,
yes, sir.
can I ask one question to Michelle? You want to explain the Lake Mall,
Yes.
basically how it's named, who it's named after, and the cause of it?
Yes. So Lakin was a young adult, actually a young mother in Raleigh County that passed away. She had had an addiction. She had been in and out of treatment. She was recovering and was on the right track and had her daughter back, and then ended up taking a pill that was laced with the fentanyl, and it cost her life. And so her parents have made it their mission to make sure that all students, everyone's aware of the dangers of fentanyl. And so when they worked with the legislature on this, they wanted to make sure they could reduce overdose deaths in teens and young adults. They wanted to make sure all of our students received not just drug prevention training, but specific fentanyl training, and that they also were aware of all the resources available. One of the things that the parents felt like was that it was hard to find the resources, and there were many out there, they just were not aware of them. So part of it is making sure that our students are aware of state and local community resources that they can reach out to, and that will support them and will get them into the right programs. That's why we were so excited that there was already something in place that could kick this off and kind of meet the intent of this law. But there's a beautiful, I believe it's a young daughter that was left behind by Lakin.
Let me explain to you about Jessica Grubb. You all heard about Jessica Grubb many years ago. David Grubb's and Kate, their daughter. We knew Jessie from a little girl when we were in the state legislature. She used to come around, run around the chamber all the time in the Senate. Jessie got addicted when she went to college at 19. She got addicted, and she had serious problems, overdose before, but they brought her back. She was on a road to sobriety. She was sober for I forget how long. She got back into competitive running. She went into I think it was in Minnesota. I know it was up in one of the Midwest states, and she had an injury from running and had to have a procedure. Her dad and mom went with her, and they both, and herself, so there was her patient herself, and her parents said, "We want to make sure you understand she's sober now, but she's been an addict and she's recovering. Please notify on her records." HIPAA laws would not at that time accept that type of information, and I'm thinking, well, it came from the patient themselves or the parents. Well, what happened is she went through the complete procedure. She was doing great. She went basically for discharge. She had a doctor sit down with her on discharge. It was not notified on her records that she had an operation, that she was addicted. She was addicted. He gave her that 50. She had a prescription for 50 oxycodones for pain because of the operation she had. She was dead by 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, you can imagine how devastating. We started on this bill 3 years ago. We have it now completely. It's the law of the land in the United States of America that any patient that comes in and identifies, and their loved ones are with them, and they identify that it has to be on their record all the way through. So they go from one station to another, from operation to recovery to rehabilitation. It's noted all the way through, so that they will not give them by any chance a mischaracterization of what their addiction had been, and it could be fatal. So that's Jessie's law. That's after another West Virginia. So we've been on the front lines, and the bills that we put up, we've got a fentanyl bill now, stops the fentanyl. We have all these things that we brought up, and we've been bringing it up, myself and Shelley, and we're working on them very hard because we are on the front line. No one's been addicted. No state has been affected with addiction more than the state of West Virginia.
Joe, following up on Superintendent's comments about resources, why don't you help us understand
Well, the one thing, you know, it's like anything else. Anything that's really well done's normally not cheap. And prevention education is not a cheap endeavor. The program's put together very well, and Hazelton Betty Ford gets their resources from us to design the program. Basically, right now, in the schools we're in, the cost is $30,000 per school. And 15 of that GameChanger has been able to bring to the table for the schools, so 50% through our fundraising efforts, through generosity in different areas. City of Parkersburg, for instance, Mayor Joyce made a great contribution as part of the opioid settlement money of $90,000 for 3 schools in Parkersburg for 3 years, and reaffirmed that. The council reaffirmed that about a month ago to do another $90,000. The Harrison County Commission has donated $30,000 out of those funds. Other commissions are now taking that under consideration. Hopefully, they will be following the lead. Out of that money, $10,000. The schools have $15,000 commitment. $10,000 of it goes back to GameChanger to help defray costs, and $5,000 of it is used through the school system to pay the GameChanger coach that's hired in that school. And the GameChanger coach is obviously the facilitator working with the Hazelton Betty Ford people and our prevention staff now that we have to implement GameChanger. We're constantly looking and working with Hazelton Betty Ford to do some things to reduce some of the costs. And so therefore, you know, our goal is to get it to a really affordable prevention education program. So I think we probably have a guest here that people would like to hear from a lot more than I'd like to
Welcome
hear
our
from
special
you.
guest.
Hi, good.
You.
Hello?
Hi.
You're just in time. You're up.
I'm up? Oh, gosh. Hi, hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jennifer Garner, West Virginia.
I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be included in this event and to become a game changer myself. Is that what happens? Am I a game
You
changer
are
from
now.
now on? Yes. There is nothing like intervening before a problem happens. That's everything behind Game Changer. It's everything behind Save the Children that I've worked with here in this.
Because I did, excuse me for interrupting,
sir.
but I told him about how this was a natural for you because what you've been doing since we started 15 years ago with the Save the Children. So
Yes.
Explain that to me.
So 15 years ago, then Governor Manchin agreed, after a lot of pestering, to bring Save the Children into the state of West Virginia. Save the Children works with kids from birth to 3rd grade and supports the entire community, the families, the schools, and especially the parents and the caregivers, any caregivers, grandparents, whomever is taking care of these kiddos, and to really support early literacy, early numeracy, social emotional skills, and to try to get them ready to learn by kindergarten and reading at grade level by that all-important 3rd grade. Because if you can get to a kid right at the beginning, that's your best shot to have them excited to learn by kindergarten. And the same is true in its own way for the other big pocket of brain development in humans, which is adolescence. If you can get to an adolescent and convince them in a supportive, communal way to stay away from drugs, stay away from opioids, don't try that one pill, don't smoke that one thing, don't do any of it, then you've bought them their lives. Otherwise, addiction, as we all know, just takes the rest of your life to beat. And with 4 out of 10 pills that contain fentanyl containing a lethal dose, that may never happen for so many of West Virginia's beautiful kids.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you all for coming out today. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the evening, the program, and the reception.
Have some questions for Jennifer?
I think we appreciate you coming so much, but we know you're on a little tight schedule, so thank you all very much.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be home.
I think we'll do a quick still with everybody up there.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Hi. I'm Michelle Blatt, State Superintendent. Nice to meet you.
Where you want to sit?
The senator is in sneakers. Oh.
Thanks for making that aware of that.
Joe, get that way, just a little bit. Excellent. Everybody else come down, come down. There we go, all of you. Very nice. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great. No problem.
Michelle Blatt,
Yeah,
State
what's up?
Superintendent.
So
So you all
How are you doing?
are invited to the
I'm coming to the Capitol tomorrow. Will I see you there? No. You'll be here.
Yes, but they've reached out, so
Okay.
we'd schedule another time.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, I've been home a bunch. So.
Yes.
No problem. Ready to go. All right. We'll see you guys in there. Nice to see you. Great. Thank you, guys.
I know, and I'm like, oh, well, I can be the bad guy. I can be the bad guy.
Yeah.
I do it very well. Thank you very much.